3, 2, 1, and I think we are live. Hello, everybody. My name is Matt Johnson, in case you don't know who I am and you're just watching a random live stream. But if you are watching this live stream later, to give you a little heads up about the format of it, just in case you're watching it hours and hours later or days after I post this thing, I am going to be leaving it up because I think there probably is going to be some helpful stuff in here that maybe will help you out if you're planning on taking up filmmaking or you're already a filmmaker or anything like that. So main things I'm going to be doing here, I'm going to wait for some more people to get in the chat. Then I'm going to answer a lot of questions which are already coming in here. And then I'm going to start taking questions, specifically through Instagram. So you can still ask me questions in the chat if you want to, but I'm probably not going to be answering those as much because it gets kind of crazy. So if you have Instagram and you want to send me a direct message, I don't know who this couple is. This is not me on Instagram here. But if you want to send me a direct message through Instagram, and ideally make it be a video message saying, hello, blah, 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 my name's this, I have this question, and you want to send that to me, Instagram is instagram.com/whoismatt. So I would love to start answering those questions, and I will be monitoring that, and Rachel will be assisting as she also answers emails in the background. Once I answer some questions, I also have some random boxes of items to unbox because I'm always buying new things and trying new things, so we can check that out too. And then I'm probably going to eat a late dinner because I still haven't eaten dinner yet, and it's like already 9 p.m. The life of a freelancer, it's very glamorous, let me tell you guys. Okay, everybody, hello, hello, hello. Everybody's here, oh my gosh. Review a real camera like the GH5. That's nice, that's funny. Oh man. Let's see here. Who else is asking questions here at this point? Hello, everyone.
I'm just going on Instagram.
Oh, I just go on Instagram already?
My phone.
You guys are killing it here. Oh, man. Luigi says, yo, Matt, thanks for this. What's the best setup for my H4n Pro? I'm doing YouTube videos in front of the camera, so that's the setup. Luigi, I would probably run a lav mic system of some sort or a boom mic, because the zoom is nice, but it's not super directional, so if you're talking, your speakers will probably sound a lot like mine are, because I'm just talking right into a webcam, so it's a little echoey. Ideally, you would have some sort of boom mic, which I have, but I did not feel like plugging it and attaching it because it was acting kind of weird, so I'm just doing it through this system. But that's what I would recommend, using something like that.
You want somebody to send you an Instagram story?
Yeah, I want Instagram stories. That's what I want, in case we're not clear by the writing here
a comment on
this.
One of your photos.
A comment, that doesn't count. Oh well, it kind of counts. I didn't really specify.
Yeah, you did.
Instagram direct message story via video. I'm just going to keep on hitting refresh here until it happens. Oh man, there's already 2 requests here. Okay, Liam McDonald, Instagram video number 1 here. Let's allow, unless you sent me some nudes, at which point I'm going to be kind of excited, but a little upset. Rachel will just be worried. So, view video. Here, let's make sure the sound's on and stuff here. Please don't curse whenever you're sending me things.
We don't want to curse.
How's it going? Just wondering, what's the best way to shoot cinematic sequences?
What's Liam? Okay, Liam asked, what is the best way to shoot cinematic sequences? Very good question. As far as cinematic sequences go, especially whenever I am filming a wedding or something like that, I am generally focusing on things being wide, medium, and tight, and beginning, middle, and end. So if I am filming an event of some sort, and I come into the room and let's say like the bride is getting her hair and makeup done, I'm going to want to film the beginning and middle and end of that, and I'm also going to want to film wide, medium, and tight shots of that occurring. Maybe I want to start with a wide shot, then I want to go into the medium, then into the tight, showing more and more detail as I go. And in general, I find that by shooting in sequences like that, where you are showing beginning, middle, and end, wide, medium, and tight, you are going to get a lot of really good angles, a lot of really good clips that you're able to use whenever you are telling a story. Because in general, whenever I'm shooting a wedding, the biggest stress that I have is like, am I getting enough stuff? And I feel like everybody that shoots weddings or other events like that, they're like, did I record enough? You're like frantically like just recording other things, like shooting a tree. You're like, I need more footage to fill this in because I have to fill out this link, this edit that I promised the couple. So I find that in general, if I can shoot it with a variety of clips and a variety of widths then I'm going to have enough footage to edit through as I go through things.
Alex said he booked 4 weddings since you did consultation with him.
Alex, yes! Killing it, dude. Alex did consulting with me a while back. Where's it? Yes! That's so great. Alex did consulting with me, and it was awesome, and we talked for like an hour and a half. And now, he's booking stuff. Oh, crap. People are doing a lot of stuff here. Okay, we will answer. There's some non-video ones here. I'm not that upset. I'm a little upset, but I understand if you guys, you know, aren't looking pretty or something like that and you don't want to be on video. I don't blame you. But I don't look pretty either, so don't be upset about that. Tyler D. Sherfield? Tyler de Sherfield. I'm going to pretend that's a D apostrophe. Better to slightly underexpose or overexpose when shooting. That depends entirely on your camera. If you are shooting on an A7S II with my picture profile matte flat that I love and recommend for everybody that's shooting with any of the Sony cameras, I would recommend overexposing 0.3 to 0.7 over on the metering. But if you are, say, shooting on a Canon camera, then you're going to want to nail that exposure right there, right at 0.0. You don't want to be over or under, because then it's going to be harder for you to bring things back. For Panasonic, couldn't tell you. Don't shoot with those. I don't know. Hope that helps out. Let's see here. Taranjita? I don't know. Hopefully you know how to pronounce your name better than I do. You guys got to make up some better usernames here, because this is getting hard to pronounce these things. How to get good depth of field shots on a gimbal on an A6300 during daytime shooting outdoor. What is the best solution? Oh, man, got to turn off the beepy thing here. Guys, I would say if you are doing that, thank you, Laura, for sending me a text message while I'm doing this. I'm sure she's laughing at home. Anyways, if you're shooting outdoors and you want good depth of field and you're not shooting in slow motion, I would definitely recommend getting a good ND filter. I have some listed on my kit page if you want to check that out. I use the cheapo ND filters because I generally break them because they tend to drop them. I'm just bad about that. If you want higher quality ones, though, Tiffin is a good brand to look at, as well as Genus. Those are going to run you $100 to $200 for a good variable ND filter, but they're going to have minimal color casting and they should look really good. But that's going to be your best way to get good depth of field. If you want to shoot in slow motion, though, you can crank up your shutter speed as high as you want to go there for that. And it's not going to look any different because it's already in slow motion, and so the image is already going to be sharp. So I find that I can crank up to like shutter speed 1/4000th and be totally fine with my motion blurring from shooting like that. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, back to another video here. Magnifici. Bro, you gotta work on this thing here. Okay, here we go. Your question.
What's up, sexy? I heard you wanted a nude. No, just kidding.
Oh, thank God.
So I'm Luigi. You told me about the boom mic. Can you just let me know which boom mic do I need to buy?
Okay.
Just the product itself.
Luigi wants to know which boom mic to buy. Man, dude, it's still daylight there? Where are you, man? That's awesome. Okay, boom mic recommendations for you guys. Let me see if I have mine. I think it's like right here, actually. Okay, this guy is my Rode NTG2. It's got a dead cat on it. This is just a basic standard boom mic with a shock mount. I want to say this thing was like $250, but I bought it, I want to say, in 2009. So they have gotten better, and now they're on from the NTG2 all the way up to the NTG4 Plus, I think. So if you want a good boom mic, I really like this one. I've used it for a lot of interviews still, even to this day. And I'm sure there's going to be people commenting like, oh, that sucks. No, you need the latest one. But hey, it still works very well for me, and it's not that expensive. So if you want to invest in one of those Rode boom mics, those are really nice. If you have the money and you want to go fancier, Sennheiser makes some very nice ones, but you're going to need to spend like $1,000 if you want something like that. So probably look at Rode if you want to save some money, and especially for vlogging and stuff like that, you don't need to go that crazy with your boom mics, in my opinion. Anybody else? What do we got? Rachel's helping slay comments over here, thank God.
I'm not messing with your Instagram because I don't want to mess up.
I'm still checking Instagram, but nobody else has sent a video yet, so I'm very upset about this. I was expecting hundreds upon thousands of videos from you guys. Kind of, maybe. Maybe not that many. but a few, you know, is cool. In the meantime here, is Tyler answering things? Oh, thank God. Thank
Yes,
you,
he
Tyler.
is.
You're wonderful.
He's being very nice.
Tyler's the best. He's killing it. Okay. Okay, we'll answer one here because I want to answer Charlie Cooper's question here from the live stream. Charlie Cooper asks, do you have the goal of shooting predominantly travel content or being paid to travel in the future? Charlie, that would be so stinking cool to just be paid to travel the world and film things. But no, honestly, for me, traveling and filming stuff like that is just fun right now. And I would love to travel and do stuff like that. If you guys haven't watched my Iceland drone video extravaganza that I posted, it's on my channel, and I would love it if you guys checked it out. But for me personally, it's filming and traveling is kind of like an unwinding thing for me right now. It's like I'm filming weddings, I'm going super fast, super hardcore, and I'm making things for other people while not entirely making things just for me, just for the sake of creating. So by traveling and doing things like that, that's more sort of personal projects, and it is very relaxing, and I really do enjoy it because it kind of, I would say, recharges the creative juices, as it were. People don't like whenever you use the word juices. They're like, oh, juices, that's weird. It recharges those, though, and it's really great. What else we got? Anybody else talking?
They were talking about external monitors.
Let's see here.
If you have experience with the GH5.
Everybody wants to know about the GH5. Last live stream that I did, everybody just wanted to talk about the stinking Canon C200 that just was announced. Now I feel like everybody's over it now. They were like, oh man, this is so cool, because it was like announced that day, and then the price was announced, and people were like, oh, $7,000, never mind. I'm just gonna not buy that and maybe buy 5 GH5s. Okay, not 5, maybe like 3 GH5s, and be very happy. Okay, Alexander Lewis Films. Love you, dude. Oh man, you're great. Okay, you're sending me a video, and I need to listen to it here. Play again.
Oh, what up, Matt? I'm watching the live feed right now. I just wanted to let you know, since the consultation, I've booked 4 weddings.
Yes.
So thank you so much for helping me out. And anybody in the chat looking for some help on wedding filmmaking, hit Matt up for sure.
Yes. Okay, that was Alex, and he loved consulting. I love talking to him. And dude, you booked 4 weddings. That is so killer. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. That is so great. I'm very glad to help you guys. Okay, Clay's Vision sent me a video.
Matt, I was wondering about pricing, whether it's a flat rate or an hourly charge, or what's the length of your day and things like that. Thanks.
Yeah, dude. Okay, this is really good. So Clay wants to know about hourly charging, pricing, how I handle that. Should I be charging more? Should I not be charging as much? Stuff like that. In general, for pretty much everybody that I ever talk to about pricing for wedding filmmaking, you should be raising your prices. We should all raise our prices. Everybody, just take a moment here to open up your Word document or your PDF and just, well, you can open up PDF. It's hard to edit that. Open up your Adobe Illustrator, if that's what you're using to make your pricing sheet. Open up your Word document, open up your email, and just add another 0 to that pricing at this point here. You know, let's all just increase our prices, and then everybody goes up, and then we all make more money. That'd be really great. No, pricing, as far as that goes, this is what I tell everybody that asks me about pricing. I tell them, if you are charging less than $1,000, you are probably just actually giving the couple money to film their wedding. And what that means is that you need to consider your fixed costs whenever you are booking weddings and filming weddings. What do I mean by fixed costs? I mean things like music licensing, which can be anywhere from $10 all the way up to $100. $10 if you're using like Soundstripe, up to $100 if you're using Marmoset Music, or even more if you're like going out and licensing Coldplay songs for 20 grand for a 6-month music licensing time. That's crazy, right? So that is one of your fixed costs, is music licensing. Second fixed cost, there is the cost of hiring a second shooter. So if you are not shooting weddings alone, you ideally have to have a second shooter and pay them. For me, I had second shooters and I was paying them $400 per wedding because they were doing good work and I liked working with them and I wanted to work with them in the future, and it worked out really well. Now, as a perk of getting married and teaching Rachel how to film with me, now I don't have to pay her anything aside from food to keep her alive, loving, sweet loving, and just constant companionship and always, you know, giving her my time and energy. So, okay, Rachel costs more than $400 per wedding to pay her, but it's totally worth it, I think. So that's two fixed costs right there, is cost of music licensing, cost of second shooter. Factor in cost of taxes. If you have income tax, sales tax, anything like that. In Texas here, we have an 8.25% Texas sales tax, which we have to pay, as well as federal income tax. Then once you factor in all of that, plus hotel, if you're traveling to the wedding, travel, anything like that, and suddenly you realize, like, oh crap, I'm spending like $600 to film this wedding, $800 to film this wedding. Like, I have these costs. And if you're just starting out like I was, and you're like, man, I just made $500 on this wedding, this is awesome. And then you sit back and you realize, oh crap, I actually just paid that couple to film their wedding because I had to pay for all of these other things that were included in the fixed costs. So my recommendation to you is that before you figure out your pricing, before you think about hourly, before you think about anything like that, look at your fixed costs, figure out what they are, do the math for yourself, and say, okay, at bare minimum, I need to be charging $1,500 to even break even. Then we need to think about profit on top of that. So you need to think about hourly rates. You need to factor out, okay, if the average wedding that I'm shooting is 10 hours long, then you need to factor in, okay, then I need to be charging this much per hour to make enough to at least shoot the wedding day. But whenever you say hourly, you may be thinking, oh man, it's a 12-hour wedding day or an 8-hour wedding day. What you really need to think about is how much stuff you have on the back end to edit. Namely, if you're editing the video, it may be, oh, it's a 10-hour day to shoot the wedding or a 12-hour day to shoot the wedding, but suddenly you're looking at 30 hours to edit. So make sure that you are also charging for the hours of editing as well, because otherwise you are saying to yourself, oh man, I have just actually started paying this couple again because I'm not charging enough to make up for that. What's crazy about being freelance and about being self-employed is that we're kind of flexible in how we make money. It's not a hourly, oh man, I make $20 an hour, here's my corporate job, you know, I'm making $50 an hour, working, you know, making all this money per year, and this is it. If you are self-employed and you are editing a wedding video, the length of time it takes you to edit that wedding video is going to affect how much you're making hourly, which is really crazy. So if I can edit a wedding in 2 hours, I'm suddenly making way more money than if I edited the wedding in 30 hours. Suddenly it's like, man, your hourly rate just went up so much. It's crazy. So think about that too whenever you're doing things. Please consider, especially after you film a wedding or two, you should have a good grasp of how long it takes you to edit things and how long that it takes you to finish a wedding film.
Everybody's talking about now how many hours you do take on it.
How many hours I take? Oh man, okay. Okay, follow up then for that. How long do I take whenever I am editing? That is a very mixed question depending on the length of the video. But I will say first off that we do not do hourly coverage. So whenever we are filming the wedding, we may go anywhere from, on average, it is a 12 to 14 hour day, I will say. We do have like those outliers that are like, we're partying until 1 a.m. And I'm like, all right, great, then let's party. But I find that I would rather shoot 12 to 14 hours and get a lot of great content, especially if they're doing a lot of cool stuff in the morning. Like, for example, we did a wedding recently, which I believe is called, let me see it here, where is it at? If you guys want to check it out, After 9 Years, I Still Fall More in Love with You Every Day, Hill Country Wedding in Texas. Some of my favorite people, Kelsey and Jacob, their wedding was amazing. And the cool thing about it was that I think we got up that morning at 6 a.m. and drove to Austin about an hour and a half away. But the reason that we were driving an hour and a half is because the guys were going dove hunting. So we were able to go and film these guys skeet shooting and dove hunting for a good hour and a half. And that was so much fun. We got breakfast tacos out of it. And I get to film a lot of cool stuff that you normally don't get to necessarily film on a wedding day. I mean, how many times are you guys shooting guns off on the wedding day. And I realize that I'm also in Texas, so that's also statistically higher amount of guns being used on a wedding day.
Faster.
I'm sorry, I can't answer questions fast. I'm very sorry. I'm very in-depth. Anyway, so we are covering weddings hourly, 12 to 14 hours, and then I would say it's probably about a week to a week and a half of editing time per wedding video.
But we're backed up.
We are backed up on our weddings, but I would say, what do you think? 40 hours, 50 hours for like an edit?
For you?
For me?
I also do a lot of pre-production stuff too, so I'm like searching for the music,
Rachel,
I'm going through the clips, organizing, pulling, and so that's at least a couple days of my time in addition to what he does. So probably more.
Yeah, a lot. So Rachel does the music, then I do that.
So check Instagram
here, we'll
first.
jump in here
No,
very
check
quickly
Instagram
here.
first.
Oh, check Instagram. Sorry, Tyler asked a question though. I love Tyler. I have to be nice
No.
to Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler Harrington asks, Matt, what camera are you currently using? Webcam, or do you have a real camera rigged up all fancy? Tyler, I was telling Rachel that I wanted to have a real camera rigged up with, I think get a Blackmagic rig, and it will actually, not a Blackmagic camera, but a Blackmagic converter box, and it will actually let me mount the A7S II and then do all my live streams with that, which would be super cinematic depth of field for my live streams. But that said, I'm just using a Logitech, I believe it's the C902 webcam. I'm looking at it here, like squinting at it, trying to tell. It's a 1080p webcam, which of course, the week after I bought this webcam, Logitech released a 4K version, and I was like, no, but I don't even know if YouTube can handle 4K streaming, so I'm just going to stick with this right now, and I'm really happy with it. Okay, back to direct messages here. Oh, and FYI, if you have sent me a direct message and we run out of time here talking, I will go back and like retroactively answer these, so you guys aren't like, man, I spent so much time sending you a video. Okay, let's see here. We got to go back here a little bit. Thompson TJ11 sent a video 12 minutes ago. So I'm sorry, I'm just getting to you now. Here we go. Let me know if you guys can hear the audio from these two. I'm holding it up pretty close. Rachel will monitor the chat and let me know.
Looking forward to in the A7S Mark III.
Sorry, I didn't hear all that one. I'm going to play it again.
Matt, what are you looking forward to in the A7S Mark III?
Matt, what am I... Okay, Thompson J asked, Matt, what am I looking forward to in the A7S Mark III? Oh my gosh, that camera needs to come out. I don't know when it's going to come out, but I'm hoping that it comes out very soon. I'm assuming from all the rumors that I've read, not till at earliest the end of this year, probably not until next year sometime, if we're being honest here. But A7S Mark III, if they include 4K at 60 frames per second, and if they include 10-bit like the GH5, I will be very happy, because I already do like the size of it. I already do like the image stabilization. I'm already very happy with the colors I've been getting out of it, and of course the ridiculous low light. So in terms of improvements, I'm like, kind of like, what else would you put in it here? If they put in, I'll say if they put in this is total pipe dream here, but if they put in the electronic variable ND from the FS5, which lets you actually control an ND filter electronically inside the camera, if they included that on the A7S III somehow, I would probably die. I'd be like, this is it. I don't need to buy another camera for like 20 years now. This is great. It's everything that I need to shoot a wedding. But otherwise, okay, and other people are like, autofocus. Autofocus? Yeah, of course. Of course, autofocus. Okay, like, yeah, I want better autofocus for sure. Phase detect, I would want there to be, ideally, even like dual pixel, you know. If Canon and Sony make some crazy Franken camera together, that'd be really cool. Tyler's over here like, better battery life. Yes, okay, better battery life too, for sure. I use the battery grip, so I don't think about that as much, but definitely if they can, it's long. So if they want to bring those over to the A7S III, or if, honestly, if they want to release, and it looks like that they are doing that with the A9 series. They have bigger batteries in it that last an A9S with all the video features of the A7S II with, like I said, 4K 60, 10-bit, possible magical ND filter built in, better battery life. I might jump to an A9S, because that could be really cool
I like
too.
this question. Why do you always wear blue?
Tyler's over here killing it, like dual card slots. all these things. Yes, okay, like this is, we're all describing our dream camera here, okay? So while we're at it, I want to point an f.07 lens that is also a 14 millimeter to 2000, so I don't have to actually use anything else. I need to be this big.
Why do you always wear blue?
Why do I always wear blue? Did somebody actually ask that?
On Instagram, yeah.
Oh man, why do I always wear blue? I find that
Or on
to be
Facebook or
okay.
something.
Somebody asked about
It's
why I
funny.
always wear blue very quickly. I'll say that these walls are kind of like this, I don't know, fleshy tone color that I hate because we're just renting this house. And so between that and this light and the way I have my light set up, I find that if I don't wear some color that pops out, then I just kind of fade into the background of my vlog, and so the skin tones start to match the color of the wall, and it looks real weird. So I find that by wearing a complementary color shirt, that kind of helps out a little bit with it. That and blue's my favorite color, so it's really not a hard thing to do. Okay, any other thing? Can I go back to... I'm going back to Instagram stuff here. MaryBeth32. Getting women asking questions in here. Thank you very much, Mary Beth. I hope it's not just your husband taking over your Instagram account to ask questions here. Okay.
So I'm watching you right now, and my question is stabilization, like glide cam, or do you recommend any 3-axis gimbal I shoot with the Canon 5D Mark III?
Okay. Mary Beth wants to know about stabilization. Namely, she is shooting with a 5D Mark III, and she wants to stabilize her camera. I will say that I love the GlideCam still. I'm on a GlideCam HD 4000. If you are flying on a 5D Mark III, you could use an HD 2000. So if you are wanting to do any sort of analog stabilization and not move to an electronic gimbal, I think the GlideCam is great. That said, if you are wanting to move to electronic, you really have two options here. You have the Ronin M, which I did a whole review video about, which you can check out. The issue with the Ronin M is that it does get quite heavy, and I will say that, not saying that I'm sexist here, not saying anything like that, but I find that the women second shooters that I've had do not have necessarily the upper arm strength to last as long with holding a GlideCam one-handed, or even a Ronin for an extended period of time when shooting a wedding. So most of the women that I've consulted with, and most of the women that I've talked to that have tested out these things, agree with me, and they are moving more towards the Zhiyun crane, or one of the single-handed gimbals that is electronic, and so you're getting a very light package that doesn't weigh much more than the camera, and you can also hold it two-handed like this. I find that that is kind of the way to go, and where I'm pushing people that don't necessarily have the upper arm strength. Not saying that I'm super muscular either. Rachel's over here like, you don't even work out. I know, but I'm just saying that in my experience, that works well. Her having used...
I shot it once for one day, and I was like...
She used the GlideCam once and nearly died. So, in general, if you are wanting to move to a lighter system and a lighter setup, which I think we all want to, I would heavily be considering the Zhiyun, and I'm honestly kind of amazed that DJI has not released a single-handed gimbal that's the pistol grip, like the Zhiyun crane or the iCams. There's like 30 other of these now, and I get emails all the time from random Chinese companies saying, please review our new gimbal, and I'm like, dude, I don't even know what that is. I can't
She
even
says,
help
I
you.
totally get what you're saying.
Okay, cool. Managed to state things about the gimbals without making it sound like I'm some macho dude that's like, women are weak, you can't do that. No, not saying that. Just saying it's heavy, and if you're wearing it all day, you might die. What else? More videos? Okay, back to the videos. Other people like the Zhiyun crane too, I love it. I know, I'll buy one eventually. I really need to, just to play with it. Okay, Chris Truitt has sent a video. Let's see here from Chris.
Going on a carnival cruise.
Oh, okay, hold on. We'll start this one over here.
Hey Matt, going on a carnival cruise next week, and I loved your travel film. I was wondering if you had any tips or tricks on doing time lapses on the ship, any travel filmmaking tips you can give before I go on the trip. Thanks.
Yes! Okay, Chris is going on a cruise with Carnival to the Caribbean, which I did make a travel video about, and I called it, oddly enough, Caribbean. So if you want to check that out, that is also on my channel here. That said, I shot a ton of time lapses from the deck of the cruise ship. Got some really nice nighttime lapses too with the stars overhead, because honestly, if you think about it, the middle of the ocean is pretty much the best place to take star time lapses ever, aside from maybe being in space itself as the Hubble telescope, because the benefit is that you are getting virtually no light pollution. The only light pollution that you're going to deal with whenever you are filming on a cruise ship is from the lights of the cruise ship itself, which I will say they keep those things bright at night. So recommendations for you if you want to shoot time lapses at night on a Carnival cruise ship, or any cruise ship. Why am I saying Carnival? Oh gosh, any cruise ship for that matter. Bring a tripod, of course, because you're going to want to set up somewhere. Second thing, if you are going to book a room, book a room that has a balcony. So book one on the side, so that way you can do like I did, and you can set up your tripod safely and leave it out overnight to film the stars overhead, storms that you're passing by, stuff like that. If you do not get a balcony room, then you're going to be stuck just sitting out there in the wind, like next to your tripod overnight. Like, it's going to look pretty, I hope. Second recommendation for you is to shoot in RAW, because you are going to need the RAW capabilities of a camera to cut through all of that light pollution so you can see the stars beyond. So for me, I was shooting on the A7S II, and there was times where I was filming and it could not actually see anything because it was so bright. But I knew that if I used the Lightroom's built-in dehaze filter, and if I was able to get the exposure bright enough without overexposing, I was going to get some stars. And as you can see from the Carnival Cruise video, I did that, and it turned out really, really cool. So those are kind of my top tips that I've been telling people that are going. If you can get a balcony room, and if you can deal with the light pollution, and the other thing, and one other thought about that, we had neighbors on either side of us on our cruise that like to have their lights on at night. And so I would like go over and be like, knock on the door, like, hello, sorry to interrupt, I know it's getting late. Could you turn off your light on your balcony? And they're like, yeah, all right, cool, no problem, man. I was like, thank you. And then it was fine. But that's another thing to consider. Otherwise, cruise ships are great, and they kind of expect people to be walking around with cameras, like documenting things. So they weren't even weird to me whenever I had my A7S II out and I was filming random stuff, which was really awesome. Anything else? We good? Oh, I got tons of stuff on here. Tons of questions.
Then you have to answer those first.
Okay, I know. I got to answer these first. Send a video, you get answered first, unless you send a super chat. At which point, we'll be rolling in the dough. Tons of questions will be answered. Okay. Gordon Meyer has sent a video here. He sent a message, and then he sent a video. I think he was like, oh crap, he's not going to answer otherwise. Gordon, I got to unmute this thing so I can actually hear it. Okay, there we go.
Hey Matt, I'm 17 years old and I'm now just getting into filmmaking when it comes to weddings. What type of insurance should I be looking for at my age now, just being a beginner? And what type of insurance do you use for shoots like weddings?
Oh man, dude, insurance. Okay, Gordon wants to know about insurance, specifically because he's starting out. Insurance is insane. I could talk for a long time about insurance, so we will not jump into that too much here. But I will do a light overage. As far as insurance goes, I would recommend that everybody get insurance, because if you are filming, especially filming a wedding, you have all of your gear in easily rollable, transportable bags, and it's very easy for you to have those also be rolled away from you and be stolen. So it is my recommendation that you get insurance. What kind of insurance, though? For me, starting out, I benefited because my parents own a house and they had homeowners insurance. So I was able to get a rider on their homeowners insurance and just pay the home rental or the home insurance agency a rider which covered all of my equipment and insurance. Now, unfortunately, that stopped working for me because I had too much equipment, and they're like, this is too much stuff. Starting out is great. So if you have car rental insurance or you have home insurance or anything like that, then I would recommend looking into seeing if they have an ability to add on equipment insurance on top of that. And you say, yeah, I've got like $10,000 worth of video equipment, I want that to be insured, and they may be able to do that for you, and that's really good. That's kind of the no-hassle way that I approach that first. Once you start getting into fancier and higher levels of insurance, there's two kinds that you need to consider. The first kind of insurance is going to be equipment insurance, like what I was talking about. So that's going to be covering your gear if it gets stolen, at which point there are tons and tons of companies that offer that. I know there's like Hiscox. I'm now insured, I believe, through Liberty Mutual, and they have been really great to me so far. So those are some good options for you as far as insurance goes. The other kind of insurance that you need to consider, the second, I'm holding up 3, the second type of insurance you need to consider is liability insurance. And you're going to run into this whenever you are filming more high-end weddings, mainly at fancy hotels, fancy venues. They're going to say, well, where's your liability insurance? Which covers if your tripod falls over and hits a child and then they want to sue you. There's like $1 million in liability insurance that can cover you for that. So having liability insurance covers you in the event that disaster strikes of any sort, you like knock over the wedding cake and they get mad, any sort of horrible story like that occurs, liability insurance will cover you from that as well. And in general, if you have a business, you should really look into having both of those. Now, I said there was 2 kinds. There's actually a third, and I will touch on that too very quickly. And the third is drone insurance. So if you are flying drones commercially because you got a drone and you want to fly it to film weddings or something like that, you need to not only have your Part 107 license, which I made a video about, how to take and pass the FAA drone test. Once you are licensed, then you're going to want to look at drone insurance as well, which if you send me a Facebook message on my links right down there in the description, and I can send you a link to my insurance guy for drone insurance, and you can get in touch with him and talk to him about if you want to get insured that way. Because if you get drone insurance, then you're covered not only if your drone crashes and breaks, which is very beneficial because drones sometimes have a tendency of doing that, hitting things. The other thing it covers, which is more important, is that if your drone hits someone or damages something. So if your drone crashes and hits somebody in the face, maybe you want to have liability insurance for that as well to cover for that. And so having drone liability insurance can cover that too. So that's the overview for insurance. I need to do a video about it at some point, and I could talk for probably 20-something hours about that. Let's just be honest here.
Unbox your things.
I need to unbox my things, Rachel says. Okay, I did promise unboxing here, so we will pause here on this. I've got what?
You're not gonna be able to answer all.
I've got there's like 6 more videos. I could blaze through some more of those. Okay.
You have to go faster.
Unboxing really quickly. Rachel's telling me to go faster. So, 2 things here that I have ordered. First of all, this is my regular camera bag. I have it on my kit page.
Someone's asking what you're gonna eat for dinner.
Oh, for dinner? We're having steak tonight. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Okay, it's been sous videing for an hour and a half already, which is great. Okay, this is my standard camera bag. It is a Think Tank Photo Lens Changer 3. Please ignore the grass that's on it. It's been battle used. So this holds 3 lenses. Really great. It's kind of, I don't know, I would call it a manlier version of the shoot sack. It's a little less form conforming and stuff like that. And it's a little beefier, and it lets me hold a ton of stuff. So this is what I normally use. But the issue for me and Rachel is that we have been booking a lot more destination weddings. A lot more weddings that involve us traveling to places like Europe, places like Colorado, places like California, things like that. And so we've been wanting to invest in gear that is more suitable for destination weddings, so mobile travel, which I will do a video about all this sort of stuff coming up pretty soon here. But my recommendation what I've done is I have purchased more video gear, because I'm always buying more video gear. It's ridiculous. But this is video gear that's more geared toward traveling and filming destination weddings. So, with that, box number 1 here. I hope this is what I ordered. You just watch. I haven't actually opened this yet. So it's going to be like...
It could be something else.
It's going to be like some random weird thing, and I'll be like, I didn't order this.
I bought stuff for a baby shower.
This could be baby clothes. Not for us.
For friends. So it could be...
Who knows? Who knows what's in here? You never know.
This person says that I'm awesome, and I take care of your squirrel thing that you have going.
My squirrel thing? It's true. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, good. This is what I thought it was. Thank God. Okay. So this is the Think Tank Urban Disguise 60 Classic Camera Shoulder Bag. And like I said, I love Think Tank. I have a lot of their bags and cases because they are very well made and they have a lifetime warranty. So I'm pretty hard on my stuff and hasn't broken. In this case, like I said, I had a camera bag. I have, like I said, this camera bag that is great for me on a wedding day because it lets me transport lenses, but the size of it is not conducive for me to put a A7S II with a camera grip inside it. So, as an alternative, I have invested in this bag that will not only let me carry around more stuff on the wedding day, but it will also allow me to carry things around in an airport. And this is also the perfect size to be a additional personal item to a carry-on. So this looks like a briefcase. It is the Urban Disguise. And the benefit of it is that I got a ton of room in here to store. I mean, look at that. We got tons of rooms in here to store. Like, it's the same 3-lens pocket, but it's adjustable with dividers and stuff. So I should be able to fit my cameras and my lenses in there. And between this and a Pelican case, I should be set for traveling long distance on an airline. So instead of me stressing and only having like one bag and like gotta fit it all in, I can kind of divide it up into 2 and have enough room for my cameras, Rachel camera, all of our stuff that we need to transport whenever we are filming a wedding. Box. Okay, so that's thing number 1. Second thing, I don't know how I'm gonna do this yet. This is gonna be kind of ridiculous here. No, I can get it here. Just a second. So, second item is also for destination weddings and travel. We will move the chair over here, out of the way. Don't hit the light. This is gonna be kind of ridiculous here, but as you can see, this is another really large box that could hit Rachel in the face if she isn't careful. So, let's open up this guy.
Flinch in the
What?
video.
Ah! I don't hurt my wife, don't worry. Okay, so this guy, always cut away from yourselves, guys.
Everybody wants you to link to your stuff so they can look it up later.
Link to my stuff. It's literally...
No, this stuff.
Oh, this stuff? Okay, I need to put it on the kit page. I will put a kit page up after this live stream that says, the third link down in the description says favoritevideogearkit.com/whoismatt. I will add it to that. So if you want to follow me on there, that'll update that. Okay, so this guy. There's so many things I can hit in this room. This is not a big enough room. I need to rotate it over here, actually, so I can slide it out. Okay. Oh! I'm going to break something for sure in here.
Oh, my Lord.
Okay. This... What do you think this is? Huh?
It looks like the other one.
It looks like the other one. Okay. This is actually a golf bag. A hard golf case by SKB. And my thoughts for this, if you aren't aware, you may have seen I did a video called My Favorite Tripod Case. And I have it right over here. Oh! It's currently got stuff in it. This is the current tripod case. I still love it. This is the SKB tripod case that they make, which is really great. The issue that I have with this tripod case, though, is that, you may be able to see it here, the only way to attach the lid here to the base is with these 2 straps. I'm going to try to do this and not clip my beard into the strap here. Yes. So it goes right into here, clicks into place, clicks into place. The con of this setup, this is really hard to do on stream. The con of this setup here is that if I am flying anywhere, the only thing holding this lid onto this base is these 2 straps here. So for me, driving around places, this is an amazing case. But if I need to fly somewhere and hand off this case full of all of my important tripods and monopods and light stuff, all that sort of stuff, I would not feel comfortable doing in this case because, I don't know if you're aware or not, but the TSA is not the most responsible whenever it comes to handling luggage. So, as an alternative, I bought this guy. And this, as I said, can I hold it and talk over it? This is pretty cool. This, as I said, is a golf bag, essentially. The benefits of it, same size as the other tripod case roughly, but it has locking clasps. So it will actually, I don't think I can actually, there it is. So you will actually be able to lock it shut, and there's 3 of these. So I can close these clasps and then lock them, and it should be significantly safer than using this other tripod bag. Okay, pricing for this guy. I want to say it was, I think I paid $160 on Amazon for it. So nothing super crazy for like a nice hard case. Other pros of this case here, I have not opened this thing here. Sorry, I just hit Rachel. I have not even opened this thing here yet, so we'll look at it here. I don't know if there's a dead body in this thing here. We'll see. These are really nice clasps though. So, benefit, opens up kind of coffin style here, and there is a ton of room. So I can put tripods, I can put light stands, I can put all this stuff in here. And the really cool thing, okay, it smells bad. The really cool thing about this case is that it is, to the airline, just a golf bag. And so I have other friends that have brought their golf cases full of tripod gear, and like one of my friends was like, I had my like Ronin wedged in there. I was like, dude, that's crazy. And he brought it to the airport, and they're like, oh, your golf bag? Yes, sir. And they just check it, and it's done. Because airlines transport golf cases all the time, so it's not even weird to them. So if I brought this tripod case, they may think like, that's a weird looking golf bag, I don't know. But with this other hard case, it looks like a golf bag. And for all intents and purposes, unless they open it, it is a golf bag. So I have the ability to transport all of my heavier camera gear that I can't that I can't carry on in a safe way that the airline will think it's okay.
Your sister says she's laughing because you keep beating me.
I'm not beating her. I'm very nice to her. Yeah, it was $160. I can. Let me find it on Amazon
here. This is my
here.
other favorite comment. Someone says, do you drink caffeine before the videos? If not, please take a 5-hour energy before the next one because it'd be hilarious.
Oh, gosh.
I just want to say that Matt is like this all the time.
Yes, it's true.
This is not a special thing for his videos. He is not another person. If anything, he's less crazy on a live stream or
you need
a
to come over here and talk louder if you're going to talk.
If anything, he's less crazy on the videos that he uploads than he is in real life. Like, this isn't an act. This isn't not Matt. He's crazier in real life. Like, this is just his energy all the time.
I'm a little tamer, actually.
Yeah, he's a little tamer.
I'm a little tamer on here.
Definitely.
People ask about how much does it cost to check that golf bag. Normally we fly Southwest Airlines, which lets you check 2 bags for free. So I'm hoping here that I can just be like, here's my golf bag. Please allow me to check this for free. Thank you. And then I don't have to worry about it at all. Ideally. Tyler's like, if only there was some kind of machine that could see inside of cases without having to open them. They'll never know. I don't know what you're talking about, Tyler, okay? Because the only way that I know that they can look at anything is they make you stand in front of that little scanner thing and do the little thing where they look at your nude body. So I'm feeling real good about that.
It'll be overweight.
Okay, you say it'll be overweight, but this thing, as it is pretty darn light. Let me throw it at Rachel, and we'll see how far it bounces. No,
even if it's overweight.
Even if it's overweight, I think I can go up to 70 pounds, and I hope it'll be okay.
Extra. We just budgeted into the cost.
I'll pay more if I need to. It's okay, hopefully. Okay, back to questions here. We're coming up on 47 minutes, it says. I'm trying to go for about an hour here because I'm hungry and I haven't eaten dinner yet. So let me go back over here to videos here. Aquangcam. Sorry if I have just gotten to you. I know it's been 32 minutes since you sent this. I apologize. Here we go.
What is your number one tip for shooting weddings on your own?
Number one tip for shooting weddings on my own. Good question, man. Okay. Honestly, for the first, I think I've shot 3 or 4 weddings on my own. Some of the first weddings I shot, I was solo, and it nearly killed me. Drink a lot of liquids. Bring snacks so you can eat all the time. And like I said earlier in the video, if you can start shooting in sequences, wide, medium, tight, beginning, middle, and end, you're filming events as they're occurring, and you're very aware of the angles that you need to get and variety, I find that that can help out a lot. One guy I know that does really great wedding films, and he shoots solo all the time, is Seth Dunlap, which if you Google like Seth Dunlap here, or just go to, if you open up another tab here, do not click away from me, of course, but let's see here, Seth Dunlap, if you just search SETHDUNLAP, and you watch his film, A Beautiful Colorado Elopement Wedding Film, dude, he is killer. Shot that solo. Like, he is so good. So would definitely recommend checking him out if you want to see good, well shot solo weddings. Where are they? Oh, they're there. Yes, there they are. Don't see them. Gotta scroll up.
They're big too.
Yes. Happy Camper. Yeah, don't do soft cases, not for flights. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, and one other thing about travel here. People are talking about media passes. I believe I saw a link on F-Stoppers about media passes. So there's no real regulation for media passes for airlines. So if you want, just saying here, you can just open up Microsoft Word or Photoshop and then just like make your own media pass, like put your face on it, put things like this is official and like Film Strong Productions for me.
Sketch.
It's sketchy, but honestly, you are a member of a media company, your company, so why would that why is CNN more important than you are? That's my only statement there about that. I do not advocate doing anything illegal though. Chase Hutch 1. Chase, are you watching my stream? I know who this is. Oh gosh, this is gonna be inappropriate. I know, this is one of my old friends. It'll be okay probably. It's just one of my old friends sending me bird sounds. Thank you, Chase. I don't know if that was a question or not. It sounded like an inquisitive bird sound, but I can't help you. You want creatives.moss ask, you want the video sent via DM? That sounds kind of, you want me to send a DM? All right. Okay, yes, I did actually. Thank you. Let's see what you got to say here.
Quick question. What would you say the place you went to learn a lot of the things you did earlier on? A lot of people say they're either self-taught or they picked up from forums, websites, any channels you'd really recommend for people willing to put in the time to learn?
Yeah, totally. Okay, so Creatives is asking about where I learned a lot of this stuff and if I had any recommendations for places that he could learn. And for me, starting out, I went to Texas A&M University, a predominantly engineering school, so there is not a large amount of people there that actually were creative in any sense of the term, and I was one of the few video people, so I really did have to self-teach myself basically everything that I knew. And off the top of my head, places that I learned a lot whenever I was starting out, I would, my recommendations initially were, well, okay, I'll say that at the time, I watched a lot of still motion's work, which still motion isn't even really still motion so much anymore. They now have a company called Muse, which is really great. They do educational material for wedding filmmakers and stuff like that. So if you want to check that out, I believe it's just I think it's just muse.org. Let me make sure that is before I tell you to go to some inappropriate website. Nope, not muse.org. Let's see here. I feel bad about that because people are going to get mad at me. Let's see. MuseStorytelling.org. I'm crazy. Yeah. MuseStorytelling.org is really great if you want to sign up. They cost money, I'm sorry. But if you look up some of Stillmotion's older videos on their Vimeo channel, they actually have some helpful tutorial videos that are for free. Other thoughts, I'm also a member of the Story and Heart Academy of Storytellers, which is, I believe, $25 a month, but you get access to hundreds of tutorials that they made about wedding filmmaking, about filmmaking in general, about lighting, sound, audio, and at the bare minimum, I think everybody should at least sign up and check them out. They give you some free options, so if you just want to just check it out, if you go to Story and Heart, and if you just Google Story and Heart and look up their Academy of Storytellers, at bare minimum, just check them out and sign up for just the free tutorials, and if you like them, give them $25. Watch all the tutorials in a month, and then you can unsubscribe if you're like, man, okay, I'm done. But they're constantly putting out new content, constantly putting out good stuff, and I am a huge fan of them as a resource because they have some amazing things. Like whenever I was teaching Rachel and getting her up to speed with wedding filmmaking and filmmaking in general, I was like, here, watch all of these tutorials. And she did, and that was super beneficial. So those are 2 resources that I would recommend. Otherwise, of course, there's Craig Adams here on YouTube. He is fantastic. He has some really, really great videos, especially if you are just starting out in wedding filmmaking. That said, I know he just announced that he's retiring from wedding film school and stuff like that, which I hope that he still posts some wedding videos, because I shot a BTS for him and it has still not been posted yet from wedding. So I really hope that he posts that before he stops posting at all, which I think he will. I trust Craig. You hear me, Craig? I trust you. I love you. Okay. Shotgun.
You have to mention Tyler because he's helping you out.
I'm sorry. And of course,
you said who to watch.
Of course, Tyler Harrington. What am I saying here? He's right here in the chat. He has some stinking fantastic videos. He just did one about the Sony a6300 and the Zhiyun crane, which is amazing. And I don't even own one, and I watched that entire video because I love him. And if you think I'm high energy, Tyler's high energy too. He's really great. I get his wife's emails every Monday, and I read them. I don't ever reply like she asked me to. I'm sorry, but I love him. I love what they're doing. Huge help. Would definitely recommend those guys.
I like this comment. What Mac do you use?
What Mac do I use?
Don't.
I don't use a Mac. I built my own PC and I use that. Sorry. Which I like, but that's also because I play games. Which you'll notice, if you guys want to play Mario Kart on the Nintendo Switch with me, that'd be a lot of fun. And Rachel, I put my Switch ID down there if you want to play with me.
Yeah, later tonight.
Yeah, we'll be on later tonight after we're doing this thing here. Also, just as a favor, if you guys are cool with it and all, if you guys want to like this video too, that'll make it more beneficial because I am planning on leaving it up. So if you guys could press the like button, that'd be really great. I love you forever. Be super, super awesome because that'll boost this thing up. Otherwise, Shotgun Danny T here has asked a question here, so we'll watch his video. I'm assuming it's a guy because it's Shotgun Danny.
Hey Matt, your audio gear video helped me out a lot, and I did my first wedding video. It came out pretty good. They liked it. I just wanted to ask about product delivery. Do people want DVDs more? Do they want USBs? Do they want them to send it to you? What do you think? Thanks.
Okay, Shotgun Danny T here has asked about video delivery. How do I deliver videos to my clients? I will say that for years and years and years, I was delivering via DVDs. And DVDs are great because pretty much everybody has a DVD player at this point. They're very saturated. And the benefit of DVDs is that they're kind of idiot-proof. Like, even grandma can, know how to work a DVD player and, put the DVD in and, there's my beautiful grandchild's video. It's great. The con of DVDs is that they are standard definition. And if you are watching them after editing, you're like, my beautiful work has now been ruined by horrible compression. It is depressing to watch. So we have begun to transition away from DVDs. We're nearly fully transitioned. We have a few more DVDs to make for some clients, but in general, we have no more DVD deliveries on the calendar. This is bothering me that this case is in the shot here. I'm gonna fix this really quickly. Hold on. So we are moving away from DVDs. And what we are moving towards is flash drive deliveries and just online download delivery. Because we're kind of in the Netflix, Hulu, Instagram generation now where, honestly, tell me this here. I know that there are people that are doing Blu-rays. I think Blu-rays are great. But when was the last time that you actually watched a Blu-ray? When was the last time you actually, sat down, put in your DVD player, your Blu-ray, put it in, and, I'm going to watch this. No, nobody is doing that anymore. There's still some outliers. Okay, you're still cool, and honestly, the quality is really, really good until they get 4K streaming up and working better. But in general, the quality is the time that it takes for you to sit down and do that is negated by the just the time that it takes to do that versus you just plugging in Netflix and being like, hit play. So I find that in general, if people have the option to watch their videos on Vimeo or YouTube or something like that, they're going to do that. And what's funny is that, or Facebook, yeah. But what's funny is that I always had this thought, when I was starting out, oh man, it's going to be so great. I'm going to send this couple their wedding film and they're going to sit down together after having a dinner. I sit down with some wine and be like, let's watch our film. and make sweet, sweet love to each other. Like, that was my thought, you know, like, it's going to be great. It's going to be perfect romantic moment. And I started sending wedding films to brides and grooms, like streaming links. And I had this bride text me right after I sent it to her, and she's like, I'm crying while I'm driving, watching it. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Don't watch my wedding film while you're driving. Because you know I'm going to be the one that gets blamed for that. Somebody's going to be like, oh, man. See that all over the news right now. Local videographer responsible for death in car accident. You know it's going to be my fault. So, I find that in general, if you send the couple a wedding video, they are not going to watch it in your pristine, ideal way. They're going to watch it on their phone. They're going to watch it on their tablet. They're going to watch it in the smallest, worst screen possible after you waste all your time, like, trying to make it look good. But that's where we're at now. So, in general, for delivery, I like flash drives because then the couple can upload to Facebook themselves if they want to. And we're at the point where we're sending them a download link as soon as the video's done. And I'm saying, would love it if you would upload it yourself if you want to. Or here's a streaming link from our Facebook page if you want to. And couples love that. And so, honestly, once we give them a digital delivery option, a lot of couples don't want anything else. Sometimes they want a flash drive, at which point we do that. But we're kind of past that.
Of the next 6 weddings, only one person got a delivery method.
Next 6 weddings, only one person chose DVD.
Flash.
Any delivery. Like flash drive or DVD, anything. Everybody's like, oh, download link? Thank you. Yes, I'll take that. I'll save it on my computer. I don't have to worry about it. It's crazy how that is working. Seth's over here like, ooh. Yes. Physical USB, okay, you're totally right, Happy Camper Films. They say online delivery is great for convenience. Sending a physical USB with a thank you package is a great way to leave your couples with a tangible product and a good finishing impression. Totally agree with that. If you want to go all like Apple packaging-wise and send them some fancy stuff, I wish I had who I send. I don't have any of my USBs that I send right now. I got the wooden USBs because, come on, wooden USBs are just cool. I've got the wooden USB with the little box, and it has the... It's like a little wooden box. It has a USB inside. It's got the straw that it goes in. You know, it's kind of ridiculous, but it is premium and it looks good. So that's the reason that we do stuff like that. Let's see here. Okay, we got time for a few more video questions, and then I gotta go eat my dinner because we're already coming up on an hour here, and that's about what I wanted to hit with this thing here. So let's see here. Gotta go up here to my requests. There we go. There they are. Okay. MSWINDT. I do not know how to pronounce these usernames. I'm sorry. Send me a video.
Hey Matt, can you tell us what you use to edit and a little bit about your editing workflow? Greetings from Korea.
Yes, dude. What's up? Okay. He wants to know about what I use to edit and my editing workflow. So as far as editing goes, I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro Creative Cloud, the latest version, which I'm a big fan of because, like I said, I am on PC, so I do not have the option even of using Final Cut or anything in the Apple ecosystem. So what I like about Premiere is that if you are editing on Premiere, which I know Tyler Harrington does, even though he is on a Mac, is that regardless of which operating system you're opening, whether it be Mac, whether it be Windows, once you open up Premiere, it is the exact same program. You're not going to notice like, oh man, it's got more features over here. No, it's got feature parity. So that's really nice. I really like working in Adobe Premiere. He also asked about editing, which is like, dude, that you asked like editing tips. That's like 800 questions in one right there. So I cannot get into that right now. That is dangerous. I will talk about editing for 12 hours. It is stupid, which I'm sure you guys would enjoy and I would love to do, but I'm not going to do that to you right now. Okay, Rick Gutierrez has a question here.
Sony A7 a good camera for starters?
Is the Sony A7 a good camera for starters? Totally. I think that any of those earlier cameras, such as the A7, the A7R, the A7S, of course the A7S, a lot of those earlier cameras still have decent video quality. I have a friend of mine, Tyler's Real Fishing here on YouTube, if you want to look him up. He's really great. But Real is R-E-E-L. He's also an Aggie from A&M. He's really awesome. He shoots on the Sony A7, I believe, as well, and he really likes it. I think it's a great camera if you're starting out. You're going to get good 1080p video. It's going to be compatible with all of the massive variety of lenses that you can shoot with using the E-mount system, which is really great. Cons are going to be that it's not very good in low light, and I don't believe it has as many of the picture profile capabilities as you're going to have with some of the later Sony cameras. But hey, if you're starting out, that is a great camera. And when I started out, my first camera was like a Sony point-and-shoot camera. So you're already doing way better than I am at this point. Good for you. Okay.
Happy Campers being really nice.
Thank you, Happy Campers. You really are happy. You're not camping right now, probably. I envision you guys in an RV somewhere.
That's what I do. I just...
Really? What? That's how where I am with things. I'm sorry. Okay, Javier sent a video. Oh gosh, I'm always doing that. I'm never playing them with the sound on.
Hey man, I'm on my second and third wedding, but I've been filming by myself. I don't have the capability of getting a second shooter. So what do you suggest is the best technique for getting the speeches and the ceremony when you just have one shooter?
Okay, speeches and ceremony if you are shooting a wedding and you are the only shooter. In that case, I would highly recommend investing in one or two other camera bodies and lenses, because the benefit of shooting ceremonies and toasts and things like that is generally you have some awareness of when that's going to occur. You get a schedule. You're like, okay, I have an hour till the ceremony. I need to go start setting things up. So in my case, I would recommend getting at least 2 tripods and having 2 cameras on that, and then roaming with a third. So that way, if you have the camera set a little bit wider, especially if you were, say, shooting in 4K, you could crop in a lot and still have things in focus and still have a really nice looking image. So if I was shooting a ceremony solo, 2 cameras on either side, both rolling, and then I would be roaming with a third camera. That would be like my ideal scenario for that, especially if I was able to roam around and check the cameras occasionally to make sure things were working. I know that whenever I first started out, ever shooting my first wedding, I shot it with sorry, I'm mumbling here. I'm running out of time here. I'm getting loopy. I ran it with one Canon 7D with a, I want to say, an old Canon FD lens and a shoulder mount, and I had another Sony Handycam in the balcony filming as a wide safety shot. That was it. So I have definitely stepped up things significantly since then, and if you can shoot with multiple cameras like that, not shooting solo, ideally if you can get a second shooter, that'd be really great. But if you can't, multiple cameras will save your bacon completely here. Let's see here. There's like, people keep sending these things. Dang it. Okay, I'm gonna get through a few more. How are we doing on time? Rachel's gonna kick.
It's fine.
Rachel's gonna kick me off here in a second. Okay, D3 Imagery asks.
This is Dustin. What are the critical questions you ask a bride and groom before their wedding day in preparation for filming their wedding day?
That's good, Dustin. Crap, man, that's good. Dustin wants to know, what are the critical questions that I ask a couple on their wedding day? Okay, so whenever I meet with a couple, which me and Rachel are at the point where we're meeting with every couple that we film. We're not just meeting with the bride, we're meeting with both the bride and the groom, ideally together, so we can see their relationship and how they play off each other. Ideally in person, ideally over dinner, which we pay for because this is more beneficial for us, and we love food, so it's really good.
We're doing like a pre-interview, so even before we book them, after the first email, like this is what we cost, we do like a phone interview, which I do, like before we even can like say that we're going to film their wedding, because I want to know like what their wedding's going to look like, what the day is going to be like, because we're choosing our weddings. We're not booking whatever we can. So do they write notes to each other? Are they doing a first look? Who's their photographer? Where's the wedding at? What time is the ceremony? When's sunset? I go through all of that plus story elements with them in the first conversation I have with them before we even book them. So this is what we're looking for. Like, are you writing notes? Why you should write notes? What story elements are important? How they met? What's their love story? All that stuff I go through before, and then once we book them, we get all the logistics nailed down. Then we'll do more like either away, we'll do a couple Skype conversations, and they're long, like hours and hours of time spent with a couple.
I think for our next wedding that we're shooting, it is in Colorado, so it's going to be crazy, but I think we've talked to the couple for like 3.5 hours over dinner, and it's because we had a ton of questions, but we also wanted to know them as people, who they are, how they fell in love, what that looks like, and what their love looks like to each other, which is different and unique for every single couple. That's a high overview of what we talk about. I'm planning on doing a video about that very in-depth in the future, do not worry. But for now, hope that helps you guys out a little bit. Okay, Tyler Lissy says...
Hey brother, I just wanted to say thank you for everything you've taught me so far in all your videos. And I'm currently editing my first wedding film with everything you've taught me. Thank you so much. But my question is, where do you get your audio, your music files for your films that's royalty free?
Yes. Okay. Audio, music files. Where do I get music for wedding films? Tyler wants to know. Music for wedding films, for me, I would say 75% of the time comes from either MusicBed or Marmoset Music. You can Google either of those. I'm a big fan of MusicBed because they have a very large library of a lot of new artists that they're updating pretty often, and there's some really high quality stuff in there. I'm also even almost a bigger fan of Marmoset Music because while their stuff is more expensive, I believe it's $100 a track for wedding films, they are very high quality, and they're also based in the Pacific Northwest, so you get some cool Pacific Northwest vibe music that just sounds really cool, really indie, very unique. That's what Rachel says.
I don't know. Music...
I find that a lot of musicians, you tend to get the kind of that Nashville sound, which, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Especially if you listen to stock footage licensing all the time. After a while, it all starts sounding the same. The benefit of Marmoset is that it doesn't all sound the same. There's some weird bands on there, which, in general, for me, with how I'm editing, I kind of like going weirder because I'm at the point now where if I've heard a song in a wedding video that someone else made more than like 3 times, you know, if I'm like, okay, that song's been used before in 10 other weddings I've seen, that song's been used before, I don't want to use it. I've taken songs off my wish list to use in future weddings because I'm like, this is a little overdone for me personally. So in that case, I want to focus on songs that are more unique. And I find that Marmoset and MusicBed allow me to do that. Alternatively, if you don't got the money for it, Soundstripe is really great. Artlist is really great. Noisely is good. They just reached out to me and asked, like, have you heard of us? I'm like, no, okay. Song Freedom is really great. I haven't used Noisely. I haven't used Artlist yet, but I've heard good things from other people posting about those. So you have a lot of options as far as music licensing goes these days, and at a variety of price points. For a while, it was like MusicBed, $50 a track, that's it. Now you've got everything from $10 a track for like Soundstripe all the way up to like $100 a track for Marmoset. So you got a really nice grouping there of pricing that you're willing to pay, depending on what you're charging couples for whenever you're filming the wedding. Valley Films. Has anyone super chatted? No, nobody's super chatted. It's okay though, really. I don't do this for the money. I do this because you're all pretty. And it helps me get all my energy out.
Marmoset.
Marmoset. Sorry. Hold on. There you go. I typed it in the chat. Marmoset Music. Okay. Awesome Wedding Films sent 2 videos. My goodness. Okay.
Big fan. Okay, here's my question. How do you do your storage for your video files? Do you use cloud systems in addition to drives? Do you use a RAID system? What do you do?
Oh man, dude, storage is ridiculous. He has Awesome Wedding Films is asking about how I handle storage for wedding films, which I'll go a little in depth on this, then we're gonna end, I think, because this is gonna be a bit more in depth here, and I'm hungry. I haven't eaten dinner yet. As far as storage goes, for whenever after I'm done shooting a wedding, I am a firm believer that if it's not backed up in at least 3 locations, it's not backed up at all, and you're just waiting for failure to occur. So for me, I have been using 2 separate Western Digital 8 terabyte drives that I've been backing up to separately and just mirroring them. And then I've also been backing up to Amazon Cloud, as well as CrashPlan, which are 2 online cloud backup services. I use 2 of those because Amazon Cloud is being phased out now, and so I say it, but they're stopping doing unlimited backups in, I believe, October. So I would not recommend using Amazon Cloud for any of your backup stuff. But for me, I find that because I'm shooting so much stuff in 4K, so I'm shooting anywhere from 200 to 400 gigabytes per wedding, I cannot use traditional drives or any sort of smaller system. I also don't use a RAID system because RAID, while is great, it is not a foolproof backup system. I'm using kind of like a homebrew RAID system where I have 2 Western Digital 8 terabyte drives that I have mirrored, and then I also have 2 smaller Western Digital drives that I back up other more current projects to as well. So I've got, at any given point, I have things backed up to like 4 or 5 locations, which is very beneficial for me whenever I'm filming multiple mini weddings and I need terabytes upon terabytes of storage space to keep everything safe. I find that that works out really well for me personally. That's about it. It was not as in-depth as I thought it would be. It's definitely like a whole can of worms here, and so I would heavily recommend you guys, if you are not backing up your stuff, if you only have stuff on 1 hard drive, you are just waiting for failure, and please do not do that, because if you're shooting weddings, you are literally like holding people's memories, and that's a big deal, and it's terrifying to lose things. I say that as someone that has accidentally deleted a memory card of reception dancing footage before, and I had to use my second shooter's card and his shots, and it was okay because it was only like 20 minutes worth of video, but it still terrified me and made me sick. This was, oh gosh, like 6 years ago, and I still like, oh, still freaks me out. Still think about it to this day.
You have nightmares.
I have nightmares. It's true. Like,
you have legit nightmares about weddings.
People, I feel like people have bad dreams. They'll have nightmares about, like, what is it? It's usually like going to school and then you realize that you're naked. You look down like, oh, they're going to see me. Like, it's usually that. For me, it's weddings. I'll have some dream that I have ended up being in some,
$20.
Yay! Danny, thank you.
That is so nice.
My man, thanks, bro. You the best. Oh, man, that's so awesome. Thanks, dude. Okay, I will say, yeah, so I have terrifying dreams about weddings. Like, to the point that, like, I am either, like, filming a wedding and that this... I had one last week where the ceremony was coming up. I was not prepared at all, and then I realized that I hadn't filmed any of the bride and groom's prep at all. Like, the ceremony's about to begin, and I'm like, I didn't even film them getting ready. What have I done? And then I'm like, I have to film the ceremony. So I'm, like, running around, and then I can't find my camera bag, and I realize that the photographer has stolen it and hidden it. These are the kind of nightmares that I have. I'm telling you, it is ridiculous. Okay, I have like these terrible dreams that don't ever come true, thank God. But it's crazy, man. I'm telling you. Confession, too. I told Rachel this. I had a dream last night. I'm not even making this up, not even lying here. I had a dream last night that I met Philip Bloom, and I creeped him out, and he didn't want to be my friend. And I've never met Philip Bloom. I watch his videos. I think he's great. But he was in my dream. This is what the kind of dreams you have whenever you make wedding videos and you shoot videos all the time and you watch YouTube. You will dream about Philip Bloom, and you'll dream that he's awkwardly mad at you in his wonderful British way. And I'm like, oh crap, screw that up. Crazy. Okay, that said here, I think that's about it, because we've been going for an hour and 17 minutes here. I still have I still have three more videos that were sent to me that I did not get a chance to reply to. So I will reply to these Instagram videos on Instagram after this live stream is over. Do not worry. But I gotta eat dinner now, so I'm real hungry. So thank you guys so much for watching. Huge fun time hanging out with y'all. It's been really great. Last minute request here. If you want to hit that like button, would love that. That'd be super cool, because I am planning on leaving this video up. If you want to subscribe, if you're not subscribed, that would also be really cool. Also, Facebook and Instagram links are down there in the description if you want to follow me. And I hope to be doing another one of these pretty soon, just answering random questions, or maybe I'll do a theme. I've had multiple people asking me, like, let's do a live stream together, and I need to do that. Maybe me and Tyler can hang out. That could be a lot of fun. We could do one together. That'd be really great. Otherwise, I have some more wedding videos coming out. I have part 2 of my Iceland behind the scenes coming out. And then I have, oh gosh, I have so many video ideas. And the big thing coming out in the nearer future is the full behind the scenes of how I shot a wedding film. So if you've watched the short one that I did, and I say short, it was still like 30 minutes long, about how I shoot a wedding, and it was just the behind the scenes of the wedding trailer. I have a massive multi-part video series coming out about me shooting the whole wedding day. So me and Rachel, in depth. It's gonna be hours long. It's gonna be ridiculous, but it's gonna be really, really great. Tons of knowledge. Like, this is us filming a wedding. This is how we handle it. This is what happens when we go wrong. Here's how we set up our cameras during the ceremony. Here's how we record things. Literally every single possible detail you could possibly want. So that will be covered in the future as well. Otherwise,
kit. You're supposed to update your kit.
Yes. Last thing here. If you look at the third link, the third line down on the video description here, favorite video gear, kit.com/whoismatt. I will update that with my wedding travel gear that I covered here. So
and the wood,
I'll put
USBs you talked about too.
Oh gosh. Okay, and delivery stuff. I'll make a delivery kit too. So I will put travel gear in it, about this case and my new camera bag and any other travel video stuff that I use for filming destination weddings. I will make another kit about deliverable things that I use, such as the wooden flash drives, which I think I get for like $10. They're really, really great. The boxes that I use, any other sort of delivery stuff like that. Am I forgetting anything?
No.
I think that's it. Okay, I'm going to go eat a steak dinner now because this thing has been cooking for a long time and I'm really excited about it. And then I'm going to probably go to bed because it's been kind of crazy. But you guys are super awesome. Hopefully we can hang on again soon. Planning on doing another one of these again very soon. Hopefully I'll try to give you a little bit more warning than just like, we're live, here we go. But sometimes that's just how it works. So thanks so much. Hope you guys have a great day. Where is my stop button? There's my stop button. Cool. See you guys later. Good night.